All right, coming up on today's edition of the Art Marketing Podcast, back with another artist interview. And I think you guys are going to find this one very, very interesting. I've got artist Matt Kress. What would I say? Artist, muralist, painter of airplanes. This is going to be a super interesting story as we get into it and peel this onion back. But Matt, I always like to start with the high level. Give me the elevator pitch. Who are you, Matt? What do you do? Give us a little bit of the backstory.
Yeah, my name is Matt Kress. I studied art at Kent State University in Ohio.
Wow.
I have a pretty interesting story. I graduated from Kent State, and I started out as an architecture student there and fell in love with the arts and started painting, excelled at painting, design, sketch at Kent State, and came time to graduate, and I had no idea how to make money being an artist.
Yeah.
So. And that's, I've told a lot of people, that's the one course that colleges don't teach. How do you be a personality? How do you be successful as an artist? How do you sell art to other people? And those are the skills at that age that I just didn't have. So I went into the business world for several years. I worked for a company called Fastenal for 10 years out of college, and was very successful in the business world. I went back to school for process engineering, and had a successful world, but it was never fulfilling to me. No matter how much success, I still, in the back of my mind, felt like I was an artist. And a good friend of mine is a pretty famous musician in a rock band called Amber Lynn. And when I first moved to Florida, I live in Florida now. He came over to my house. He's like, "Matt, your paintings are incredible." He's like, "I didn't even know you did this." And we've been friends for a year. And he kind of nudged me into a passion because he lives a passionate life too. And said, "You got to get your work out there. You got to start doing it." And he said, "The first step in that is you have to start introducing yourself as an artist." And that's something I never did until I started to get my work in some local places. I live in St. Petersburg, Florida, and I've done lots of art shows here, which has led me to some mural opportunities. And in 2018, finally had enough side business happening. I did double duty up till 2018.
Wow.
And
How old are you? How old are you in 2018?
I'm sorry.
How old were you in 2018?
In 2018, I was 40. I'm getting too old to count here. 43 years old.
Yeah. Wow. And so it didn't go full time till 43.
Yeah, I did double duty for probably 20 years almost, out
Wow.
of college.
Wow.
And, in 2018, I saw the opportunity to start doing murals full time and to do full time canvas. I've sold hundreds of original canvases all over the country to different clients. And, the one thing over the past couple years that's been a significant gap for me is had a terrible website. I have not a good presence with prints. I often just didn't waste my time with printmaking because I'm doing well with originals.
Yeah.
So it was time for me, and that's where I merged with you guys to help me build something pretty incredible that we're kicking off now, and I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, fired up. And you have no idea secretly. Matt and I were discussing this earlier. I was telling him like how these podcasts normally go, and he's never listened to this one, and he and I have never met. So you wouldn't know how happy something you said made me, because it's the reason we exist. Art storefronts exist, but it also infuriates me in the sense that like everybody goes to college and learns art and learns about all the masters and learns about all the movements and all the periods. Not one single sentence on how you might turn this creative freaking talent into a business. Not one. Still
Yeah.
There's nothing. It's infuriating to me because it's the only thing that matters.
And to add to what you said there, something really key that I'm grateful for that I learned in the business world, working with clients on a completely non-related industry to art, is that people buy from people.
Yep.
So, and that happens in the art world too. So I tell young artists, and I mentor a lot of young artists in the Tampa Bay area, and I tell them, you have to be a personality. You got to go out and meet people. I look at like Salvador Dali. Think of the personality that he was.
Oh my God.
He was a wonderful artist, but
Yeah.
people just loved him because he was such an eccentric guy. And
Yeah.
that artists often miss that. I know some wonderful artists out there that just need to work on their, their outgoing nature
Yeah.
and going out and meeting people and letting people know they're an artist. The first step in that is just saying you're an artist, which
Yeah.
I know a lot of young artists are like, oh, I'm in customer service, but I like to paint or I do this. You got to decide, are you doing this or are you not doing this? And I think that that's something that's really helped me over the years.
Yeah, amazing. And I love hearing you say it because and again, you've never heard anything, so it's completely new and novel to you, at least coming from me, is everybody always asks like, oh, is there some sort of collector list that I can get a hold of? And you're just gonna send me to the collectors. And I'm like, it wouldn't work. Do you want to know why it wouldn't work? Because art sales are 50-50. Art sales are 50% the quality, the meritocracy of the product, and they're
Yep.
50%. Do I like this artist? Is something interesting about him? Is there something that like I resonate with? Because to your point, people do business with people that they like, they respect, they find interesting. It's just
Yeah.
as important as the art.
You can draw the parallel you can draw to what you just said to that is that in the music world, if you look at most of the stuff on the Billboard charts, it's the top.
Mm-hmm.
They're not the best musicians.
No.
They're not the best singers. They're not any of those things, but they're up there because people like them and
Yeah.
people see something that they want in them. And it's no different in music than it is in art. It's the same thing. You got to be a personality. You got to say the right things. You don't have to be the most technically skilled artist.
Mm-mm.
You don't have to be the most realistic drawer. You have to be the most you. And that's the
Yeah.
most important thing.
Yeah. I want to because it's rarer these days, and again, I've been doing this for like 10 years, and so the sheer reps and sets I've had talking to various different artists, different stripes, I get the muralists a lot, right? And they're out there doing that, whether they're doing it with cans or whether they're actually painting or what. And everyone knows Weiland, right? And everything that Weiland's done in his career, but you started and then got into it, which is sort of wild. And I'm just curious what role all of that's played and everything. And then I'd love to get into the financial aspect of it a little bit too,
Sure.
because quite frankly, I'm naive on that. I'm like, how much you actually get paid to do those giant things and how
Yeah.
much they last. So while you're riffing on
One of the marketing managers for them said, "Hey, I love your canvas stuff. You've done a couple local shows, so by all means, it was pretty crazy. The first mural I did was for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and one thing
wow.
I didn't know about murals was that they're billboards. They're marketing, advertising billboards for you. So every time you do one, if you do a great job, it's going to lead to another one. And that particular job, it was
Mhm.
almost a joke. I only made $1,000 to spend 2 weeks of my life painting a mural for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for a festival. So basically, they
Wow.
paid for my supplies and gave me not even enough money to live for those 2 weeks. But I saw the opportunity and knocked it out of the park for them and did something really good. That led to another one. That led to one of their players calling me and saying, "Hey, I want you to paint my office. I saw what you did for us."
Hmm.
And that kind of led me down the path to start doing murals. And at the time, I didn't realize the incredible financial opportunity behind doing murals
Yeah.
and now airplanes and things like that. So the commissions there have been great. So I've really created a structure for myself where I try to get a couple murals a year. That's my base income. And when I'm not doing that, I'm painting what I want to paint on canvas in the studio and selling that stuff. And that's lightened up my pressure load
Hmm.
of being a starving artist because I'm getting my passion to do the murals, and then I can go in the studio and paint a brilliant painting, and I don't even care if I sell it. And in return, it's created a snowball effect where I can't keep my original paintings in stock either because I don't even care if I sell them. It's that I'm not really trying to push that stuff into people's homes, and they see that, and they see how much I care about what I'm doing, and they see that the creative pressure is off for me. So I'm painting whatever I want. If I, you know, Jimi Hendrix painting in the background with that I just had fun with. You know, when I do things like that that resonate with me.
Yeah, I love that. And you know, it's so interesting to hear you say it because everyone just immediately goes. It's like the way that we're wired as human beings. Like, okay, I want to go and do this job, and I need to get paid. And if I don't get paid a ton of money for it, why am I doing it? There's no business there, right? Like another way of thinking it is like everyone always gets tripped up on advertising because they think the way that advertising works is that you go and put $100 into this machine and it comes back with 250, right? Otherwise you quit.
Yeah.
Otherwise you're done with it.
Done.
You know, the murals, especially the ones that you've done, and especially the size, it's just marketing. It's just marketing at a scale that is so giant, and it's unbelievable. And you know, you could almost just break even. They cover your paint and barely even your time. And every single solitary time, it's like you have a giant Facebook ad that is going to be running for the next 3 to 5 to 10 years, however long it's there, that you don't have to pay for on a monthly basis.
And I have about 30 of those now in Tampa Bay area. So
wow.
It's really grown over the past 5-6 years for me here in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, you know, so I live in Newport Beach in Southern California, right? And if you drive south one city to Laguna Beach, right on the right-hand side of PCH, right after Main Beach, is Weiland's giant mural, right? And it's his gallery. And he's got a couple in Laguna, I think, but it's been there forever. It's iconic. Everyone sees it. Everyone talks about it all the time. And it's like the sheer ROI of doing that one artwork, the sheer number of eyeballs that are exposed to that. I mean, it's got to be 25 million people a summer that see that every single solitary year. It's like you can't understate how big of a deal that is. Staggering. So, you know, you're such the atypical case too, right? Because you did not have your house in order in terms of your prices, in terms of probably your email marketing, probably your Instagram marketing, and you got there through sheer will and execution.
Yep.
Wow. And you know, I'd be curious to understand before our storefronts, and you're still needing to fill in some of the holes in the gaps, so we can talk about those if we want to, and all the reasons why. But sort of what was the revenue makeup of your business over the last couple of years? Was the primary revenue driver the originals, and then, you know, some of these bigger commission type of pieces, or what did that makeup look like? I'm curious.
For me, it's probably 75% murals, 25% originals, or I should say 23% originals, 2% prints and merch. You know, so, and I obviously see the opportunity for that, the printmaking and the merchandise and things like that, is I got to get that stuff filled in. And I'm also stepping up my game on the originals to try to get more. You know, I've never had in 6 years more than 2 or 3 paintings that are even available for sale, because they sell almost as fast as I do them. So I've got more discipline, I'd say, in the past 2 years of every time I'm not doing a mural, even if nothing's sold, I'm in there trying to get a couple really nice pieces together to try to get a collection of 10 or so paintings out there.
So you could do like a show or something.
Of my top originals, you can see most of them are sold there, and even the top left one that I just did, I just added it, but it's already sold. Just did that one. But I like to do a lot of color and have a lot of fun, and just do my thing. Big, bold pieces.
I'm losing you. Can you hear me again?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't. My damn streaming software, like, just anyway. Side tangent. So what I was asking is just where you're at pricing wise in terms of range on originals currently.
Between 5 and 20,000, depending on size.
Yeah. Wow. It helps. It helps when you have demand. So you literally cannot create enough of those right now. I mean, you're completely sold out in your shop.
Yeah.
Wow. So
I've got one Einstein for sale right now, which is on my website. I recently added it, but it's the only painting I've got right now that's really available.
Amazing. So the real question is how the hell are we going to get you more time so you can actually make more of these guys?
Yeah, and my mural prices have gone up. So
Mhm.
for recently, for a while there, I wasn't losing any bid, and I realized that what I'm doing now is, now that I'm getting a little more experience and better at murals, is my prices go up, which is going to enable me to have some free time to
Mhm.
do that. And that was kind of the plan from the beginning. Is that I want to be a Shepherd Farley or a Wyland, or these
Mhm.
these guys are getting $250,000 a mural in some cases
Wow. And
on that stuff.
what happened to Shepard Farley? Has he always just been the mural guy ever since?
Yeah, he's got his brand is with Obey is so big now that he's not even really painting murals anymore. He's got a team that just like prints it and puts it up like wallpaper
Yeah.
in a lot of cases. I think he's
Yeah.
printing, he's definitely painting some stuff, but he's a genius. What he's done with his brand is great. And I'd love to talk to him sometime, but I'm curious how he's built that brand and built some free time for himself too.
Yeah,
So
it's sort of I mean, you just kind of like threw me in the time machine because I feel like, we were coming up when that Obey stuff started becoming
yeah,
everywhere. And it was like even those, like, the nature of how those stickers looked,
yeah,
like right when it started, like they were it was like old school technology brought back, right? Like the way that they were mopped on everything. That guy was everywhere. That
yeah.
Anyway, that was a blast from the past. Talk to me too, because I'm curious, like, how many in-person shows and fairs have you done over the years? Have you used that as a driver?
Yeah, I've done Art Basel Miami 2 years in a row. I had some mural conflicts
Mhm.
last year with Art Basel, so I made a decision. The same sanctioning body that puts on Red Dot Miami for Art Basel, they
Mhm.
also do Art Santa Fe. So last summer I went out to Santa Fe, New Mexico. Uh,
Wow.
I've got a pretty good art presence and original sales presence in Florida.
Mhm.
So I'm actually trying to do shows in other states and other cities now because, if I look at my makeup of the originals that I've sold, 75% of them are to clients in Florida.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I did Art Santa Fe last year. I met some great people out there, sold
Mhm.
2 paintings at that show. I'm thinking about doing a West Coast show soon.
Mhm.
Once I get a couple pieces together, I know we've got Art San Diego and some other ones. But as I mentioned, my presence here in Florida is good, and I got to start spreading the wealth a little bit. And I'm also doing murals out of the state. I did a mural in Denver, Colorado last summer. I also did a mural in Raleigh, North Carolina last year. Done one in Alabama. So I'm kind of trying to pick off states because I've realized those are billboards too.
Yeah. I mean, they're just beachheads. They are just beachheads. It's like
Yeah.
it's an amazing thing to think about. I actually, you know, I would be curious. I'm such a sicko with like the marketing and the sales. Like, that's just what I do, right?
I
Like,
enjoy it too.
I would be so curious to find out, like, how many times do the looky loos stop by during the course of you painting the murals?
It's amazing. I mean, it's a constant stream. I mean, I have people pull over and ask me questions. It's
Mhm.
almost becomes like I've actually become grown to enjoy that. When I start putting this monster spectacle up, because I've done some big ones, 70, 80 feet tall.
Yeah.
I did a sea turtle downtown Tampa. It's right by the hockey arena for the Tampa
Mhm.
Bay Lightning, and it's 73 feet tall, 50 feet wide.
Whoa.
People just get off the highway and come just want to ask me questions. And when I first started doing it was a little bit frustrating because I'm such a artist that just wants to put my head down and work. And
Yeah.
then I realized I'm growing an incredible fan base by doing this. So
Yes.
I have the music going now. I've got a cooler with water out there. It's a tent. It's a party for me now when the people come out because I want to meet them because
Yes.
I know they're out there supporting me too.
100%. Like, when is the next one that you have scheduled?
I'm getting ready to do a coffee shop downtown St. Pete. It's called Southern Grounds.
Uh-huh.
It's a brand new construction, Central Avenue, right in the heart of the city. I'm doing 2 murals in there, and they're making it my gallery, and it's
Inside or outside? Inside.
the inside. So it's
Got
an
it. Got
interior mural,
it. Okay.
um, and
We could do a practice run on that one, but
okay,
I want I need to know. I need to be in the know when
okay,
the next big outdoor one is scheduled. Because I
okay,
swear to God, I think that is such a tremendous opportunity, especially given how many days it is. I mean,
yeah,
I want to see, this is where I'm going with this. First of all, the boom crane, and in our storefronts will pay for this. Okay. We're going
okay.
to get like a 3 foot by 3 foot QR code banner drop from the bucket itself.
Let's
Okay.
do it. I
We'll
like
have
it.
we'll have we'll have 2 cameras streaming the entire thing. Okay. Live stream 24 hours a day. Down below, we'll get the booth, an assistant, have all of the prints in there, have all of the merch in there, have the email list, do a giveaway. It's like, there is so much milky. I am willing to bet with like a little bit of forethought, you could turn those murals into just pay to play opportunities. I mean, hundreds of email addresses minimum, right? Hundreds, probably even thousands, depending on the street. Probably up to $1,000 a day in booth sales. You're gonna have to get an assistant to be down there and man it.
Yeah.
And then just the pure media spectacle of scan a QR code and get directly into the live stream. Dude, I mean, we would need a serious battery pack with you up there. I'm making you nervous already, but I'm telling you, it's too good. It's too good of an opportunity. It's too good.
You got my wheels turning. Maybe I can send you some pictures, but this coffee shop is a new construction on Central Avenue with a garage door on the front. So you can literally, it's like an alley, but I would say 500
garage door in the front, like completely open air?
Only open air. And I will say it's 500 people an hour walk by this coffee shop location. Like it's in the middle of bustling downtown St. Pete. So that might be the right spot.
It could be a good one. It could be a good one to start for sure. Because you know, this is exactly like the type of fundamentals where, again, I will teach this class in freshman art school. How to capture email addresses and what to do after you have them, right?
Yeah.
Because had you been doing this over the last 25 years of your career, you'd have 50,000 on a list instead of what? How many do you have on your email list? Just tell me. It's going to piss me off, but tell me anyway.
For my new website?
Just your email list, period.
It's only like 100 right now.
I know it was a rhetorical question. I know it's tiny. So this is exactly what we need to fix and we need to shore up, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, in it, like, this is a fundamental of the art business. And anyone that listens to this podcast knows, like I say this all the time, but you're going to hear it again because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Then the size of your email list, and the size of your customer list is one of the most directionally accurate predictors of revenue potential of the business that exists. Okay. And the reason that I bring that up, and you figured this out already, like a great artist like you, right, that's in demand could get, let's just say it's a great year. You did 4 murals that year and you sold 20 originals. Okay. You know what that tells me? You have 24 customers at the end of the year. 24. That's it. So when you come out with the new collection at the end of the year and you're letting everybody know, you have 24 collectors. Okay. And the second fundamental rule of this whole thing, do you know who the easiest customer to get is?
The one that you already have.
The one that you already have. The math is so abundantly clear, and it's even more magnified in art as a result of like the collector phenomenon, right? So you start adding in the prints, you start adding in the merch, right? And again, like what normal artists do is they run the numbers in their head, like, I'm not going to sell that cheap tchotchke crap, make $6. Like, what? I'm not going to get rich on. It's got nothing to do with that. It's an email address that's purchased something, right?
Oh, true.
And the merch and the prints are beachheads into these people's world, no different than the mural. It's just a beachhead. It's just your art in there in front of their eyeballs all the time when they're drinking their coffee, when they're sending a thank you note, whatever the calendar, whatever it is, doesn't matter what it is. Then at the end of the year, instead of 24 customers, you have 204. And the mass just snowball from there, right?
Yeah.
So I think every one of these murals, we need like a lockdown playlist. Like, you know, you could do some creative stuff. And especially if the shop is cool, dude, they'll let you do a print giveaway. You do a print giveaway every day. They're dropping business cards. They're filling out the clipboard as you're doing your thing. And it's just, it's entertaining, you know?
Yeah.
There's like such a performance art aspect to it too.
Yeah.
God, I'm fired up about this. We need to write a playbook on this, and like
we do. You know, you're right. You know, interesting statistics that you'll appreciate from my perspective on what you just said, and that's the reason I knew the answer to that question. Is I would say I have 10 families right now that buy half of my original art. Again and again. A couple of them just say, Matt, every time, and these are wealthy families that have multiple homes across the U.S. that I've grown relationships with over the year. And they usually just tell me, Matt, every time you paint something, just send me a picture of it. And that's where I need to get my feed better, you know, my email list. I'm doing it the hard way.
Yes.
Where I'm saying it to each one of them and saying, hey, I just painted this. Most of the time, those guys are buying it.
Yeah.
But you're right. I need that list. Instead of being 10, it needs to be 2,000.
It needs to be hundreds of thousands. And it's like, I could see a scenario like it, you know, it was all just like clicking to me, and you guys I'll include links to all of his things in the show notes, and you can go and check out some of these things that he's did. But it's like, I'm like, oh my God, like, you know, I so encourage doing in-person shows and fairs all the time, right? Because the way most artists and the way most photographers are wired, the photographers love hiding behind the lens. The artist loves hiding behind the fucking canvas. They don't want to talk to anyone, right? What does a show make you do? Sit down in a booth and have conversations with 50 people. Way easier to do that in the real world than it is to do it in a digital context. Let me just tell you. But the mural thing has just got me completely spun. And I guess what I was looking at, let me see if I can get this up on the screen. But what I was looking at is, and he's got it on the about section. It's like this, and you know, again, what was driving me nuts, it wasn't the about section. Oh yeah, it was in the news. You need to treat, okay, we might as well just go into the teaching moment here. You need to treat your website and Instagram in very, very similar fashion. You've got one set of story highlights here, and you're completely missing on the street credit, which is in the news, right? Read here, Tampa Magazines. Read here, Art Business News. Read here, AOPA. We haven't even talked about the plane yet. Read here, the repository. And this was this the video? Oh, here's the video. St. Petersburg creating 70-foot mural, right? And I'll play this. I'm going to mute it while they why they do the commercials. But where I was going in my head with this, it's like, my God, this is a spectacle. And this obviously took you like a tremendous amount of time to get this thing. Let me see if I can make it full screen. Is it showing full screen on your end?
Yes.
Okay, good. Hopefully it'll do on the podcast too. But like this alone, like it's so performative. Look at how high this thing is. And you know, you're on this massive crane, you're doing your thing. You're definitely gonna have to get your boy, your PR agent, your gal, whoever you got to like man the ground for you, you know?
Yeah.
Man the hand-to-hand combat. And like literally you do one print giveaway on one of these places that has like this high foot traffic, dude.
Yeah.
My goodness, you're gonna be dropping hundreds, if not thousands, to the bottom line every single solitary time. And you know, that's the whole premise of doing the in-person Thayer show, right?
Yep.
Like you're gonna get 75 email addresses, and you're gonna sell 2 or 3 pieces, and then you're gonna be able to offer, you know, a discount to everyone that didn't get to purchase the stuff. So we got a playbook on this. I will help you cook this thing up.
Awesome.
I got a huge passion for it.
Yeah.
I want to pivot to the plane.
Okay.
I find the plane so insanely fascinating. Let me pull it up and show it. How did this whole thing come about? And let me see. Let me find it. How did the whole thing come about? When did you do it? And what's happened as a result of it?
Well, it's been out there for about 2 years now, and a local. You know, and it came through my murals. I got pretty well known here in St. Pete as a mural artist. And a very forward-thinking friend of mine said, hey, you know, what do you think about painting my airplane? He's like, I'm getting ready to do it. He's like, I'm thinking about it. That's the new plane that I'm getting ready to paint, which is a much larger plane.
Yeah,
painting that. Yeah, it's a big plane. And he's the owner of that plane has given me full creative freedom on it. And I'm even picking the leather interior that we make on that plane. So it's going to be a flying piece of art on the new one.
Yeah, the plane is just wild. And Matt and I were talking beforehand about like, because I was so curious because, and this brings up another question. So you're equally talented with the spray cans as with the brush. Your paintings you're doing with the brush mostly. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then the spray cans just is by virtue of the fact that you're great at this to begin with.
Yeah, I've studied art over the years. I want to be a multidisciplinary art. I've used airbrushes, I use spray paint, I use oil, acrylic, paint guns, and they're all just different tools that you need to learn how to use. And through the murals, I've gotten much better at using spray paint, and I think that's a tool that all artists really need to pick up and use.
Yeah, I mean,
and I tell a great thing. You know, when we're talking about this, I tell a lot of young artists that are painting stuff on canvas, go do a mural for free. Show some business, hey, here's my canvas stuff. Could I do an accent wall? I don't even want to charge you for this mural. I just want people to see it. And you have to do that. You have to do one like that. And I've told a lot of young artists, and it's seriously, like you know that it's a billboard.
Yeah.
They go in there and do a nice job. That's their QR code right there.
Yeah.
Boom, to get the hits. Everybody's walking by that all day. So that's such a critical part. But like I said, I tell a lot of young artists, just do it free.
Yeah. Especially in the beginning. Like, don't get like, artists are their own worst enemies. And in so many ways, it's like, do I need to get a contract together for this one, and what should I charge, and what should be the terms that they agree to before they do it. And it's like the business owner's like, terms, like, dude, go and get some paint and freaking make it look cool. Leave me alone, right? Like, just get a foot in the door. On a side tangent, are you a Banksy fan too?
I am. I like what he's done. I like the statements he makes, and that type of art to me that makes a statement. He's really hitting on that category. Is it? And that's testament to art. You don't have to be the best painter. He has the most genius ideas on what to say sometimes, which is an inspiration to me. I'm not a fan of the physical art that he's making, but the mind it takes to create that idea is its own avenue.
That's where I'm at. I mean, I appreciate the art. It's not like I'm so blown away, but I love the creativity on some of the murals, like the way they incorporate. Yeah, it's just so good. He just did one recently on like, somewhere in middle England, and it was like a 4-story apartment block where he like totally used the bushes that were in the foreground. Anyway, I think he's really creative that way. Yeah. Where else? I had other things that I wanted to go on. Yeah, so we need to tune up the social media profile. Get a little bit more of that street credit on there. You need to get the lineup cemented. Like the whole deal with the lineup, by the way, is you have never heard me say this. Non-wall art is a part of it. Don't care what that is. Pick whatever merch you want. Doesn't matter. Stuff that we provide, stuff you do on your own, doesn't matter. Non-wall art is a part of the lineup. Not everyone is ready to buy wall art at all times. Yeah. You need prices in the 0 to 100 range. You need prices 100 to 1,000. Top end of the range you already have covered. The whole point of that, acquire as many customers as possible. Don't let somebody that's not in the right socioeconomic frame of mind leave your damn operation without something in hand and without you having a record. That's it. Okay. You do that over the course of the long term. It's how you win on every single solitary thing. I think you have big gains on Instagram to make without question. There's a couple of things. What we might do is I'm hungry for podcast content. Had this podcast forever. And over 600,000 downloads, actually. Toot my head on that. I just was looking at the stats earlier. Anyway, I do these interviews, artist interviews. I do these like deep diving tacticals. Last week, I started for the first time what I'm calling working sessions. It's where I just grab an artist and we start on the list. And it's like, sign up for this. This is the service. This is what we're going to do. Tactical step A, tactical step B. So maybe we'll do one of those because there's a ton of stuff that we need you doing right away. I'm very interested in your celebrity base and nurturing those relationships. I was looking at his Instagram earlier and I saw one of the planes on here and it's like, PBD, right? Some of you guys know who this guy is, Patrick Bet-David. We're Swiss neutral on this show in terms of politics. People get charged up. I am the marketing guy. Okay. Yeah. I know how hard PBD works. I know the size of his audience. I see this and I'm like, okay, Matt, do you have his cell phone number? I also know that like one of the primary things that this guy gifts, and Patrick Bet-David is this guy that just loves giving gifts. He's constantly giving away art. Constantly. I mean, did you see that thing he gave to Tom Brady? No. Oh my God, dude. Patrick Bet-David commissioned this thing, which is this painting for Tom Brady, which I swear to God, only Tom Brady could own it because you either have to have a 50,000 square foot house or a warehouse to even hang. Yeah. And he commissioned some artist to paint Tom Brady in some like action pose for every single solitary season of his NFL career, like all the different teams in college and moments, and then gave it to him. It's like, dude, that guy appreciates art. Like I can't believe, which is obviously how you got in there. And I'm sure that's a great story. Yeah. But to achieve what you've achieved at the celebrity level, the football players, the famous people is the hardest thing to do, period. This guy looks famous too. It's like, you have to have an intentional plan about how you're going to cultivate these relationships and make sure you're checking in on them and watering them. Do you know who's one of the masters of this? Weiland. You know what he does? Dedicates time to go and like their social media posts as biggest collectors. Okay. Literally sits down on Instagram, goes and leaves comments. We'll send him a message, and he's one of the best-selling artists in the United States. So how do you think that happened, right? Like it sounds self-serving to like spend extra time with on the celebrities, but I hate to say it, like they're the ones that will propel your career to highs that have never happened before, and the checks don't bounce either. No. Right? Yeah. So we need a good strategy on that. passion of mine is AI. Where do you come down on AI? I don't mean it to create the art. I mean everything else. Have you started monkeying around with it? What's your experience with it? Period. End of sense. Whether not at all or some in between. What?
Yeah, I've had to use AI for client proposals sometimes because I'll have like some difficult clients that want 20 mural ideas. And I'm like, my goodness. I'm like, and I have other clients that just hand me the keys and say, Matt, I just want you to put what you want to put on this wall because I love you as an artist.
And those are the best ones always.
Yeah, but I've learned to use it for that, just to try to get to what the customer wants. I still create something original, but they're like, "Hey, I'd like a squirrel riding a bicycle with lightning bolts," something. I'm like, "This is going to be such a bad wall," but then I get them to see it through AI, so it's a good tool for me for that. I don't necessarily, I don't necessarily like it either. But it's also the world that we live in right now too. So it's there. It's not going away. I've seen. I've shown some work at some big expositions, and there's some people there doing the AI art on print, and it bores me to death when I see it. It's just like, okay, that's cool. It's kind of like, me telling you I'm a DJ and I just plug my phone into a speaker and hit play. And that's what they're doing there. And it's not enticing to me, but there are some wonderful things that can come from that tool too. And we have to use that.
For sure. I think like what punctuates it for me, and I'm a huge tech nerd, and because it's the new thing, I'm all the way in. I've gone down so many rabbit holes, I can't even get to tell you. Later this afternoon, I'll go down even more of the rabbit holes because I just enjoy it so much because it's the new thing. But I've interviewed probably 100,000 artists in my career. Do you know what percentage of that 100,000 has even one employee in their business?
Probably 10.
It's like less than 1/10 of 1%.
Yeah.
And that sucks. That means an entire a world of creative entrepreneurs that are never going to be able to be more than a team of one, right? Or their significant other. My position is AI can start being that unpaid team member.
Okay.
And
love
works.
it. How so?
I mean, if I were you, I would grab my phone, take a picture of that proposed mural spot, and I would go into one of them and I would say, I need you to estimate the total square footage of this wall. Understand that I'm going to paint 2 coats. I'm going to use this many spray cans. What is my average cost of how many spray cans it'll take to do this? I want the paint on the spray cans to be marked up by 250%. And that is what I'm going to line item to the clients as be a baseline cost, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what is. Everything. Start asking everything because it is just so profound, right?
Just asking questions.
It's funny because I was saying this the other day, it's another outfit in Florida. This guy was like in the military, and in the military, you carry the backpacks that have the weight. It's called rucking. Super into this right now. It's a fitness thing because it's just so easy. But the backpacks are so heavy and the weight is so heavy. I carry like 50 pounds when I do it that like I'm going through shoes and I'm hurting my feet. Right. So I go into the AI and I'm like, here's what I weigh. Here's how much weight I'm carrying. Here's the terrain that I'm going on. Recommend to me the best shoes for the job, right? And give me the pros and cons. Like I'm just passionate about all of the use cases, and it can literally be anything, right? In your case, upload. Do you have a database of any kind? Do you keep all your orders and anything? I mean, you have art storefronts now, so it's going to help people. What did you do before then? Paper receipts here, there, and everywhere?
Excel spreadsheet.
Okay. Upload the spreadsheet to ChatGPT or Grok or Claude today.
Okay.
And so please analyze this spreadsheet and surface any insights about my business and where you think I could make improvements. Watch what happens. Okay. Absolute freaking magic. It'll go, your average order value is this. Here's what your business has trended between the years. Here are some gaps that we see here. Here are some price points that you're missing. And here's some things that we think you should double down on. Oh, by the way, these are your best customers, right? It will spit all of that out in 30 seconds. And that's just it. I firmly believe that AI right now, if you get out of the noise, first of all, get out of the art creation stuff. I don't want to say about that. That's done. But it's going to take our jobs. The robots are coming to kill us. Get that noise out of the way, and then realize all the things that you should be doing and never got done. AI can start getting done. And that's
Okay.
what I'm finding in my personal practice, and
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
being profound.
I appreciate that. I'm gonna ask you some hard questions, and I think you're right. It does have good output. Absolutely, I've done that
100%
before.
it does. It's like having a PhD level or smarter person that you can just have a conversation with and ask whatever nonsense question comes into your head. And
Yeah.
it's like amazing to think about that. You would never, given social cues, you would never do, even if you had that real person there, right?
Yeah.
But artists need employees, man. It's a big deal. You've been extremely generous with your time. I'm definitely going to have you back on the working session.
Okay.
One of the things two things that I love asking. One, how the heck did you find Art Storefronts? I'm a marketer. If I didn't ask that, I wouldn't be worth my salt. How'd you find us?
Your Instagram marketing is tremendous. I mean, you personally probably hit my feed 300 times in the past 2 years. And I was always intrigued because it was
Mhm.
a need that I had. And I finally just said, hey, let's give these guys a shot. I had the money in the budget to get this started. You were running a promotion at the time.
Mhm.
And I just said, let's go. It's time for me to get the website going. I had a great conversation with one of your sales people for the
Mhm.
questions that I wanted to get answered, on what I wanted you to handle and what I didn't. In the beginning, I I built a social media presence, an okay one. I'll say it's okay. It's not
Yeah.
as good as near anything it needs to be.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to just hand you the keys to my social media. And I said, here's the gaps that I have, and you're able to fill that. You've created a wonderful model. It doesn't have to be everything. It can be everything. And I think that those are some great things that appealed to me about you guys. And here I am 6 months later, and I'm so excited about my website. Every time I do a public thing, I've got a QR code there to sign up. Here's some of the things you're telling me, and my goal 5 years from now is for you and I to be having a conversation of, Matt, how did you become one of our top artists?
Yeah. I
That's
love
my
that.
goal.
And I love that, and I love the ambition. We didn't even get into the. I do want to plant the seed, and we'll talk about it more later. But and it's a pain in the ass. But the artist owning the whole thing from soup to nuts,
Yeah.
the brick and mortar location, right? And you already have such a base in Florida. Like Weiland was so ahead of his time. Those galleries just produce, and he's got them in the ritzy parts of town. And it's like he's got a mural on the side of the wall, but owning the whole thing from soup to nuts, i.e., you're creating the art, all the products, you're
Yeah.
manufacturing all the products, and then you're getting the entire markup to retail all in one spot. So
Yeah.
I'm planting that seed. That could be down the line.
You're right.
I want you thinking
You're
about
right. I
it.
agree.
And by the way, you should literally drive into one of Weiland's galleries when you know he's going to be there and be like, I need some help, dude. Give me some advice for where I'm at in my stage of the career, because the guy is just like the coolest guy ever. Anyway, I always end with advice for 20-year-old Matt. What is Matt, seasoned artist right now, full-time artist, looking to level up and take the next level? What is he going to go back and give advice to that kid that just finished art school?
I'm going to tell him a couple things. People buy from people. You got to be a personality, and you have to be out in the community, engaging with business owners, doing that one free mural. I'm not doing that all the time. You have to become a presence in that community. You have to become a personality in that community, and pick one community, start there. And that's what I did with St. Petersburg, Florida. And, I've grown my presence here. I need to start working on other city. The other thing that I would tell 20-year-old Matt is, Matt, I can't sell $1,000 painting right now to save my life. I can sell a $10,000 painting all day long. Paint big things, paint ambitious things. People that buy art have a $20,000 couch in their living room. They're living in a $1 million house. They don't want a $1,000 piece of art, original. They don't want it. They do want big stuff, 6 foot, 7 foot canvases, 5 grand, 10 grand, stuff that you spend a lot of time on. I have one really wealthy collector. He's one of the biggest entrepreneurs in Tampa Bay. And he's like, Matt, I buy art that I 100% can't do. And he's like, some of the art that you did, I can see 100 hours in that thing. And that's important. So that's the things I would look back at 20-year-old Matt and say, hey, believe in yourself. And here's what you got to do.
Amazing advice. Loved every bit of it. Fantastic interview. You and I are definitely going to get into it, guys. Thanks everybody for watching. I will include in the show notes links to Matt's website. I will include links to his Instagram. For those of you guys that are just watching and you want to see it quickly, I gotta scroll up here. What is it? Your Matt K. Your Matt. What is it? What is the handle?
Matt Kress Art.
Matt Kress Art, all one word, at Instagram. 29,000 followers. Yeah, we have some serious work to do on this thing here.
Let's go.
I mean, story highlights. I gotta teach you tricks. So okay, we'll get into that. Matt, thank you so much today for your time. That was a super awesome interview. We will see everybody on an upcoming episode, and thanks again for tuning in.
Thank you. Grateful for your time.